All right, let's talk about how to study, take notes, and ace tests. First thing you want to do is maximize your time. You need to remember why you're here, either to get a job or get promoted. How do you do that? First you need a process. You need to get some experience. You use science, you use standards. You're looking for results, change your behavior, improve your learning, improve your motivation. This is a presentation I put together a long time ago. So the first thing you got to do is set realistic goals. Make the most of your study time. Wayne Dyer had a book called The Power of Intention. Once you make up your mind, make a decision, you dramatically increase the chances of success. You want to read for success. We're going to talk about previewing, predicting, and purpose. Effective readers skim the pictures, the titles, and the headings in the text, kind of like an appetizer to the mind. It tills the soil in the brain, gets it ready to accept and store information. When you're thinking ahead, when you're reading, you anticipate information and you ask yourself questions. Believe it or not, most of the thinking in the brain is predicated on questions. So as you're reading, ask yourself, why is this important? You want to improve your memory. You want to take great notes consciously and subconsciously. You want to use those neural pathways with the power of association, mental hooks. And actually, believe it or not, a little anxiety is a good thing when you're trying to study. Remember how important this is. And finally, we want to talk about test-taking skills. Things that are going to help you before, during, and after the test to do better. These are skills and habits. You're going to get into repetition. You want to be prepared. Bring your books, your notebooks, your homework, your pencils, your pen, your erasers to class with you. You want to sit in the front of the classroom, take good notes, ask intelligent questions when you're confused. The only stupid question is the one you don't ask. Treat teachers with respect. Come to every class, raise your hand. I like acronyms. Be an ARC. Bring in the front, pay attention, take notes, ask, respect, come, and use your hand. You need a study schedule. You need to break down tasks into manageable parts. You need to keep up with your assignments. You need to get into a study routine and make the most of your time. You want to be goal-oriented and stay focused. Schedule's going to make sure you're consistent. Use your phone, the calendar in your phone, and sync it with the computer. Reverse engineer, work backwards. You'll know how much time it takes. Start at the end. What's the end of the class? What do you got to do? You want a good study area, calm, quiet place. Poor study areas where you got too many distractions. Study at the same time each day if possible, so people know to leave you alone. Get a study buddy. Somebody that takes school seriously, somebody that earns higher grades, somebody that keeps up with their work, somebody you can trust, somebody that's well organized and never absent. And then you have to ask yourself, are you a good study buddy? You want to improve your brain using neural pathways. Link it. Ideas are stored by association. You want to connect new ideas to what you already know about. What's it like? What's it related to? What's it got to do with? You want to repeat it. Do it to death. Repetition helps fix info in your mind, so recite the facts out loud and write them down. Lincoln used to read out loud, and people ask him, "Why do you read out loud?" And he said, "Because if I read it out loud, I see it, I say it, and I hear it. And by the time it's been through my brain 3 times, I remember it." You want to play with it. Act your way to right thinking. Use memory tricks, little sayings that jog your mind. My dad taught me when I was 11 years old to memorize the Boy Scout the Boy Scout laws by breaking it down into threes, almost making it a song. A Boy Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. That was 51 years ago, and I still remember it today, and I don't say it that often. Write it down. Remember Lincoln 3 times? If you write it down, you see it, your hand does it, you read it, it's been through your brain 3 times. Hand is better than computer, but not always. You need to play with it, see what's better for you. Sing it. Remember my 3, saying it in verses of 3. Musical option, cadence, helps you get a rhythm in your brain, helps you remember it. Visualize it. As you study, form a mental picture. Say it as you see it. Take great notes. Only the essential stuff. Keep it simple, stupid. Only the important stuff. Write the main idea, the important names, the dates, the numbers, and the key details. Outline and highlight. You want to highlight the people, the events, the categories, the important information under the upper outline, adding additional information as you think it's necessary. Keep it brief. Use abbreviations and acronyms. Organize it. Keep your notes in a binder, organized by topics with handouts. Write clearly. Your notes will be useful only if you can read them. And rewrite it as soon as possible. Remember repetition. And the second time you write it, it'll be more brief and more clear. This is the Cornell note-taking method, and you can get a stenographer's notepad, and it's kind of broken up this way already. You put cues on one side, notes on the other side, and a summary at the bottom. Help you organize it in your brain. Read for success. Systematic. There's a whole lot of different ways to do it out there. Try them until you find the way that works for you. And you want to give it more than a couple minutes. Give it a week. If it doesn't work, try something else. You probably find 1 or 2 methods that you like a lot. Once you do, stick with it. But every now and then, try something new anyway. Be consistent. 15 minutes every day, same time, same place. Get into a reading routine and stick with it. Follow the schedule and you should see progress relatively quickly. Try reading the same time every day in the same place so you get into a routine. Keep a log. Stick with it. Persist. Muhammad Ali said, "I hated every minute of training, but I said, don't quit. Suffer now and live the rest of your life as a champion." So, when you preview the text, first thing you want to do is look at the cover. Read the front and back cover. This kind of gives you a hint what you're about to get into. Gives you some clues as to what you should pay attention to. What clues do you get from the title, the picture, the front and back covers, who wrote the book? I always Google the author of a book. I want to know, do I trust this person? Should I believe what this person says? Were there comments by famous people? How is the book described in the jacket flaps? Look at the table of contents. What will this book teach me? What are the main topics the book's going to cover? How are the topics arranged? You kind of want to arrange your memory the same way the author arranged the book, organized. Look at the illustration, the pictures, the photos, the charts. Read the captions. What are the different types of pictures, photographs, and maps? What do the visuals tell you? Why were these illustrations included? What's the purpose? What facts do I get from the captions? Don't forget why you're reading the book. Remember the review questions and the teacher-made study guides, including the paragraph summaries. Be specific. Look for knowledge, skills, and ability. Get the facts, get the instructions, learn new information, learn new vocabulary. Skim the text, preview the text. Focus on the key words. Look for facts, often the first and last sentence. When I skim a book, I look at all the headings and then I read the first sentence in every paragraph. 9 times out of 10, that's the topic sentence. It's going to tell me what's in the paragraph. In each paragraph, find the topic sentence, the main sentence. Like I said, that's normally the first sentence. Find the sentences containing information that's key. Think about, what is this paragraph about? What's significant? Facts and statements that can be proven, statistics, numbers for additional information, reasons and explanations why something happened, definitions, statements to explain what something means, descriptions, words or phrases that give more in-depth detail. You ever heard of word cloud? It tells you what words show up more often. The bigger the word is in the picture, the more often it shows up in the text. When you start seeing words over and over and over again, pay attention. Steps for outlining and highlighting. You want to kind of use a system. Go from the most important to the least important. Identify the topic. What's the subject of the paragraph? Identify the main idea. What's the stated or unstated information? Details that back up the main idea. Extra important information under the headings. Try to put it into an elevator speech. If you were going to summarize the information you read, say in a chapter, put it into a 2-minute statement. Summarize it, something quick and easy. Think about the 5 W's and the H. Who, what, when, where, why, and how. Who's it about? Who's it to? What's the subject? What's the topic? What's the main idea? When did it happen? Earlier, later, or when's it gonna happen? Where? In the front, in the back? What section of the country? What section of the house? Why? What's the intention? What's the reason? What's the explanation? And how? What's the process? What's the circumstances? What's the situation? So you can take the main idea, the important details, and you tie them all together into a summary. You want to preview the passage, predict, read the message, find the main idea and important details, explain the main idea in your words, skim the passage, make sure you've got everything, and begin the summary with the main idea, then the key details. 3Q3R. This is one of the systems that they recommend for reading and studying. Survey. Before you read, survey the chapter, the title, the headings, the subheadings, the captures under the pictures, the charts, graphs, and maps. Question while you're reading. Turn the title, headings, and subheadings into questions. Read questions at the end of the chapter and after each subheading. Ask yourself, what did my instructor say about this when it was assigned? What do I already know about this? If it's helpful to you, write out these questions for consideration.